Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. I am glad you guys are here. Today, we are going to take apart a Hinderer or two and do some what I consider routine maintenance. Check it for corrosion, put some wicked wax on it, clean out our bearings. This does have skiffs in it. And just FYI, on the XM18s, I don't use a Torx. I use a I can't read it. I apologize. But I use this hex bit, I guess it's called. And these are Chicago barrel screws. So they come out one way. I really like the way that they're done. I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. I'm holding them in from the back. Alright, and I found out from MC's videos, Metal Complex, a really good way to get this pivot, if you don't have it Loctited down, is to use a penny, and I just put some of this painter's tape on it to keep it from scratching the hardware, because these are long pivot screws. We'll clean this up too. All right, so let's see what we got here. Perfect. So what we want to do is clean all this up, see if that's any surface rust or anything starting. I use a KPL rust eraser. Let's get our skiffs out of here. Our barrels came out, which is fine. Our pivot came out, which is fine. Make sure we keep them all on the table. So we got 3 barrels. And our pivot, we're going to clean that up. Alright, so first let me get one of these little pew pew cleaning cloths. Might get a couple out, that's looking kind of smutsy. Get one of those, get another one just for good measure. Get a little alcohol. I need to get some more alcohol. Now what I like to do before I wicked wax my blade is get my KPL rust eraser. This is S45. I'm not worried about any deep rust, but I do always clean up around my pivots when I'm taking them down, in case there is surface rust. They make a lot of different rust erasers. I picked this KPL one up from Amazon for about, I think, 12 bucks, something like that. I will put the link down there in the description of this video, because this does work very, very well. when you're dealing with any surface crap. Which I'm dealing with a little surface gunk of some sort right there. Might just be a little pit. In either case, we'll rub on it for a bit. Let's see what we got going here. I think that's just a little pit. All right, let's get her alcohol. Blow that shit off there. See, it's got those little pits there too, almost like little machine marks. I don't know what that is. Doesn't affect its performance, but alright, so that's cleaned up. We're going to wicked wax that, but first we are going to clean off this scale. All right, clean off this scale. Clean off our pivot. And we will clean off our pivot screw. Get our penny. Work those bits, and then we're going to real quickly clean our blade with some Wicked Clean and then some Wicked Wax to keep it from corroding. Get back here what's been covered first. This Wicked Clean is kind of like Flitz, that Flitz silver polish, but it's got a little bit of beeswax protective properties in it. I find it really good for getting smuts off blades. And I like to rub the blades anyway because I'm a weirdo. I see something there I want to rub on when I get done with this. If this Wicked Clean doesn't do it, which it probably won't. This is a necessary step. It's just something I like to do to treat my blade. I could do this afterwards, but since I've got the knife broken down, that way I can kind of treat the area around the pivot with some Wicked Wax when we get done with this, which we're almost done with this. So what we're going to do, rub that in, kind of trying to clean up all our surface areas. And now we're going to take a rag. We're going to buff that shit off there. I'll go back to this side. And I saw a little something right there. It's probably just nothing but all right. So now I'm getting ready to take some of the wicked wax, treat it with that, and we will be ready to put it back together with some lube. We use some KPL. Whoops. All right. Put that up. Let's grab our wicked wax. This stuff's a lot more viscous or jelly-y, whereas the wicked clean is a lot more like pasty. So this spreads a lot easier. And what I do is I just want to coat all those surface areas, let it work into the metal, to whatever pores are there, microscopic or otherwise. Get my spine. I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to wax up this part that stays covered up. Really just covering all the surface areas with wax. Now I'm going to get one of my little wipes and or my little sticks and clean out that ball, that pivot ball, or the pivot divot, whatever you want to call it. And I'll always rub against, or with the grain of the blade, so I'm trying to minimize the risk of cutting myself. This is probably not the smartest way to do it, but it's the way I do it. So take that as you will. I could have easily taped up that blade, but I'm an idiot, and I try to be careful with my blades. Alright, so now I'm going to do a little rubbing to kind of buff out, make sure I didn't leave any of the wicked wax in my bearing track. Wipe that off. Wipe that off. Grab one of these guys. Clean that out. It's filthy. Down in there. Clean that out. And then get our blade good and get that wax off there. There's still a coating. Alright, now what we're going to do is take our pivot and slide it back through. Get our KPL. I should have had that ready. I did this bearing swap not that long ago, so I'm not really that concerned about the other side of that bearing. I didn't want to sit there and just whack on the blade for forever on video, so I just let it slide. I normally would have taken that out, but no harm, no foul, no real need. All right. Look up our bearing. Now what I should have done is gotten my barrels push through first, like so. So I could get some traction on each one of these. Let's see. Come back, baby. All right. So now what we're going to do is lay our other scale back in place, hopefully. We get that stop pin lined up. Uh-oh. We've had a couple of blowouts. One tried to bounce away from me. Guys, this is not as difficult as I'm making it look. Rest assured, that was just kind of a dopey move by not lining up that stop pin. So I'm going to try again. Get my stop pin lined up. Let's do something real quick just to hold these in place. Uh-oh. See that spin away? I just want to keep those barrels where I can use my hand a little differently because I'm still not snapped in here. But now I can move it around. There we go. All right. Push our pivot up nice and tight. I'm not putting Loctite on it because it doesn't lock. On me, it hasn't walked, so I'm going to tighten it down by hand as far as I can. It's very smooth screws. I mean, I can literally get it hand tightened up. So now I'm going to make sure I get my barrels through. It's kind of a pain. They're not quite lined up. There we go. Come on, bitch. All right, got that one through. I don't know why that's not lining up for me. Again, like I said, guys, I promise this is not that difficult. I have somehow let my barrels move. I'm going to snap that together and let them slip out, which is not good. So I'm going to have to pop this. Did not want that to happen. But what are you going to do? We're going to add a struggle bus emoji to the thumbnail, get it back together, and call it a day. Alright. That was very effed up. Fucked up. I should not have let those slip. But what you gonna do? Alright. Now, let's try again. Alright, we're snapped through. We haven't dropped a barrel yet, but we're not going to get cocky. We're just not going to go tight with them. We're just going to get them to where they won't let the barrel, whoops, slip out. Threads are so smooth, and the machining on a Hinderer to me is just done very well. The tolerances are very tight. All right. Screw her down. Now take it all the way tight, guys. Again, how much torque can I get with the penny? Not a lot. Torque down the handle. Body screws. Tighten it up a little bit more. Dead nuts. Guys, we did it. We did some maintenance on our Hinderer. We used our KPL rust eraser. We used our Wicked Wax and our Wicked Clean. I appreciate y'all stopping by. I hope you found this informative, educational. Thanks to KPL, thanks to Wicked Wax and Wicked Clean, and thank you to Get Good Screw for helping me out with the screwdriver. Guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're still here for some reason and you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon. It really helps me out. But mainly, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.